So here are 5 reasons why I love owning a camper van. Number 1, I've just travelled all the way from Gloucester across country to Kent to visit some family and some friends, and I'm currently waiting for my daughter to finish work so I can go and visit her. Whilst I'm waiting for my daughter to finish work, to kill a bit of time, I've had a bit of lunch in this lovely spot here. Just look at my view. And the great thing about this is people that live in all these houses around here pay an absolute fortune for this view. I get it for free, and I don't have to look across the road to see the lake, and that has got to be priceless. Number 2, now that I've had my lunch and I've still got about an hour to kill, I can have a nice afternoon nap whilst I wait for my daughter to finish work. Number 3, whilst I'm out and about exploring new places, if I happen to get caught short, I don't have the anxiety of looking for a public toilet or a public restroom, because after all, this is a small home on wheels, and no home would be complete without a toilet. You could say it's rather convenient. Number 4, not only can I sleep in my van, cook and eat and poop in my van, it also gives me somewhere really comfortable to sit and do my work. So you could say I work from home. But the great thing about this home is when I get bored of what I'm looking at or the scenery around me, I simply move. Because right now I'm in the middle of the woods, listening to the birds as I work. Isn't that rather beautiful? I think so. That brings us nicely on to number 5, and that is because I have greater access to places like this, not only has my physical health improved, but also my mental health has improved. And I have to say, my mental health has increased 5-fold since having a camper van. So you could say this video should be titled 10 reasons to own a camper van. But anyway, it's not all rainbows and unicorns. There are downsides to owning a camper van, so let's cover those downsides next. So the next part of this video we shall call 5 reasons not to own a camper van. I do think I'm going to struggle to find those 5 reasons though, to be honest. Give me a moment. I know, owning a camper van makes it seem like I'm living my best life. I'm living the van life dream. Right, let me tell you some of the downsides. Let's start this time in reverse. Let's start with number 5. Space, or should I say the lack of it. Trust me, your knees become very friendly with not only your kitchen and your toilet and your bed, because you become very accustomed to what's commonly known as camper van yoga. After all, getting in and out of bed without hitting your head soon becomes an art. Also, doing anything in here, all the bending and wiggling around in all the strange spaces and all the positions you get yourself into, you don't need to go to the gym to practice yoga. You soon get very used to van life yoga. I suppose it could be a good thing, really. Maybe that's not a downside. But yeah, if you want cosy, you soon get cosy, alright. Number 4, plumbing problems. Well, not plumbing problems, rather the lack of plumbing. Like we said earlier, this van has got a portable toilet, and most people that own camper vans will already agree with me that using that toilet is pretty much last resort, especially at night, especially when it's dark outside and you're kind of doing a bit of stealth camp. The last thing you want to do is turn your lights on and reveal to the world that you're inside your van. So you try not using your toilet at night. If you're like me, I use a pee bottle for those 4 o'clock necessities. But the real downside of owning a portable toilet is when it comes to emptying it. Trust me, it's about as pleasurable as changing a baby's nappy, if not worse, because at the end of the day you're dealing with your own stuff, and it's about as 4 times the size. So I highly recommend, if you are going to have a portable toilet in your van, make sure you get a separating toilet. don't use one of those porta potties, because it's just nasty when your number ones and number twos meet and they mix. That's when things do get nasty and smelly. But those porta potties are really cheap. The separating toilet that I've got, they can be quite expensive, and even then they're still pretty nasty when it comes to emptying them. I think I've made my point. Let's move swiftly on to number 3. So you want to go off grid, you want to be somewhere to find yourself. Until that moment happens, you need to answer some important email, or you can't get asleep one night and you fancy binge watching your favourite YouTube channel, and suddenly you realise you've got no Wi-Fi, and the only alternative you've got is to go into town, park dodgily outside some coffee shop to try and steal some of their Wi-Fi, or even worse, you end up in a McDonald's car park trying to nick a little bit of signal from their Wi-Fi. And using public Wi-Fi isn't really that safe anymore, especially with all these hackers and internet people that try and get into your system to try and nick your personal information. So even though the freedom of the open road really does sound appealing, just be prepared to find yourself standing around with your phone held up in the air, trying to find that little tiny 1 bar of signal. The thought of owning a camper van may appeal to you because you want to go off and find yourself, but more often than not, all you'll be trying to find is a good Wi-Fi signal. Number 2, weather woes. Sure, you're close to nature, but when it comes to the weather, that is completely out of your control. If it is cold outside, it's gonna be freezing inside your camper van, which doesn't sound too bad because after all, most camper vans have got a diesel heater, so you can get it nice and warm in here to a certain degree. But then with a diesel heater, it's either too hot or too cold. But the real problem comes in summertime, because if it's 30-40 degrees outside, it's gonna be like an oven inside your van, which isn't so bad in the daytime, but come night time, when you want to close your van up for security reasons, that's when the problem starts. Sure, you can have a ceiling fan, but you're going to need to have your windows open as well. And in my case, my windows are right next to my bed, which is really nice. I can have my pillow there, have the window open, pray for a small breeze to keep me cool at night. But quite often, especially in the summer months, it will start raining at night and I end up with a soaking wet pillow, soaking wet head, and it's not very pleasant. So even though it sounds lovely to be in a camper van in the summertime, trust me, it does have its downsides, and that is the temperature in your van can go through the roof. But that is nothing compared to problem number 1. Let's talk about that next. And this has got to be the biggest downside to owning a camper van: the constant repairs and the maintenance. After all, this isn't just any old van, this is actually a motorhome, and there is lots of things in here that can go wrong. So picture this: you're going down the motorway, you're living your best life, and all of a sudden, clunk, 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 clang, your van comes to a grinding stop. It's almost like your van says to you, hey, surprise, it's time to do some maintenance, it's time to empty your pockets. Yeah, it happens. After all, like I just said, this isn't just a van, it is a full ongoing project. There is always something to fix, there's always something to maintain. And trust me, even if you don't want to be a mechanic, before you know it, you get really good at fixing things on the fly. And regular viewers of mine will know that this van has given me quite a few, what should we say, not headaches. It's given me a lot of content for my channel because of all the problems that I've had with it. Touch wood, it's running perfectly fine at the moment, and it's just flowing through its MOT. So I feel quite blessed with this van right now. Until the next time, of course. But don't get me wrong, I absolutely love it and I wouldn't trade it for the world. But I just thought I'd make this video for you and show you both sides of the coin. Well, hopefully you enjoyed watching this video, and if you want to hear more about van life, the good, the bad and the ugly, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Hopefully you found this video mildly entertaining, slightly informative. If you did, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one. Just remember, if my vans are rocking, it's probably because I'm trying to fix something. Ta-da for now.